Stewardship is really important, and the more of us who participate, the better, more vibrant and healthy the planet will be. Building berms and swales to keep the water on the land more so in the hill country in Texas than up here, where drainage is more important, and so slope and managing that, putting increasingly water levers further down slope so that they can draw on the water before it leaves the property. Water, 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 water is life. Composting, taking care of the land, building the soil, no pesticides, chemicals, nonsense. I should say I do not confuse industrial agriculture with farming and farming with homesteading practices. And it's all really a matter of scale, except for the industrial ag. Now that was really touching on the notion of stewardship and respect for the planet and the environment. I don't use massive columbines. All of my tools are handheld, battery-operated tiller for certain kinds of operations. There are many organic permaculture, biodynamic methods that one can use. So for example, biodynamics highly recommends all this preparations to do with chamomile and burying bones and all sorts of other strange and interesting practices, which I have seen. But for me, I don't concoct that way. I just sort of plant a lot. I do a lot of companion planting so that individuals can develop symbiotic relations. So corn, beans, rice, or some of the other sisters, the amaranth and squash. Beans are very often an essential part of that because they help to draw and fix nitrogen. But then so too do a number of other plants in the legume family. So again, it's the working with and looking at the symbiotic relationships that you can develop between the plants so that they help to nurture each other. And it's very much a matter of scale. Very, very, very much. There's so many other things that we can do, that I have done, that I will do, such as building these sorts of tunnels that will run in between your rows and letting your chickens go in between the rows so that they eat all the buggies. One's unfortunate enough to meet up with the chickens. They scratch and they claw and they poop, and you can either till that in at the end of the season. Chicken poop tends to be what they call very hot, nitrogen rich, so you don't want to have a whole lot of it, so you've got to move the tunnels around frequently, which means of course that you're walking the property or the rows and the fields and the beds and the gardens very frequently, so you can keep on top of and monitor constantly what's going on in the garden, who's doing well, who's not, who wants what. Stewardship and the level of intention, involvement, engagement, and scale.
And I guess quite literally working with the grain and not against the grain.
Quite.
Yes.
Quite.